What up, everybody? It is DZ Sports Talk here, and today we're going to be talking about the Detroit Lions. And so this channel is going to be an unbiased, neutral opinion on all sports: football, basketball, baseball, anything sports related. A little starting off with some Detroit sports talk here because that's where I'm from. And today we're going to talk about the Lions and the Bears. 34-30, Lions won after they fired Patricia. Let's talk about it. So Stafford looked good, threw for 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. You know, he's looking back to his old self. He's been struggling a lot this year. But what do we do with him in the next coming year? What I think we should do, I want to draft a quarterback first round. I think that's the best thing. I think we should have done that last year. Instead we got Okudah, who can be good, but he has not been playing very well this year. He's been injured a little bit. And one guy in particular that I really like is Trey Lance from North Dakota State. He only played one exhibition game this year, for like 140 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, but his redshirt sophomore year was phenomenal. He had 2,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and also rushed for 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns. Now, the Lions, I think they need a athletic quarterback. Stafford has a little bit of athleticism, but he's not super mobile. A guy who can run it, and also a guy who can throw it and keep the turnover minimal. He's a guy who I think he can be a franchise quarterback for this team. He can turn around and take them to Super Bowl is exactly what we need. I think we could keep Stafford for one more year, have him develop under Stafford, back up a little bit. If Stafford struggles, come and play and see what he got. But I think he's like a Andrew Luck type player with a little bit more speed, a little bit more running ability. And I think that's a player we absolutely need to have in Detroit. Also, I like Kyle Trask for the position we're going to be in. Trey Lance, hopefully it doesn't go super early. I think Kyle Trask would also be available there, but I don't know. He might be a little bit of a reach depending on where we draft. The defense still looks very bad. Those problems are not going to be able to be fixed this year. We're going to have to do with what we can, but the intensity picked up in the second half of that game. That's what I really like about how Bevel was able to get the players together, get them rallied up and fired up. They start off bad. They're down 23-13 at half. Usually under Patricia, they would have a decent first half, and then second half, at least fourth quarter, they would completely collapse, and it was brutal. And this game was complete opposite. Romeo Okwara had a big play in the end of the game with a forced fumble, and he's been our best defensive player this year. 7 sacks on the year. Seems to be getting better each week. He can be a player we can build around the defensive line. We definitely need linebackers ASAP. Jelani Tavai has been brutal this year. Jared Davis is going to be gone after this year. Jamie Collins, he's not going to be around for another longer. One guy I like is Dylan Moses from Alabama. He was supposed to be an early first-round pick last year, but he tore his ACL. But he's still a very athletic player, big physical player. He can cover, he can stop the run, and that's what we need in Detroit. Okudah needs to improve. Hockenson is looking better. I think he's a Pro Bowl for the NFC. The AFC is stacked with tight ends. NFC does not have very good tight ends, so TJ Hockenson is like the best one right now. But he's still not on anywhere close to the level of Kelsey, Kittle, Mark Andrews, and Darren Waller. He has a great blocking ability. Just got to improve, being more consistent, like catching the ball, getting touchdowns. You know, he's getting like 50, 60 yards a game. Eventually, we're going to need more from that from our 8th overall pick a couple years ago. But back to Okudah. He is the key to our secondary. Him and Amani Oruwariye. He's been playing pretty decent this year. He's looking like someone we can also keep around on the secondary. But yeah, Okudah, man, he has to be playing better when he comes back next year. We're really going to need him. Looking at our next coach, Robert Saleh, he seems to be the favorite. He grew up in Dearborn, has family in Dearborn, played football at Northern Michigan University. And he's a guy I really like. You know, Richard Sherman has a lot of good things to say about him. He can rally the team. He even said he's not someone who just says, this is the scheme we're doing, this is the only thing we're doing, this is how we're running it like Patricia White. He doesn't think he knows everything. He's willing to work with his players and their need and their abilities and all that. And you know, he's a very hard-headed guy. Seems like he fired up. He has a great defense, even with the 49ers struggling this year, but he still has a top 15 defense, and I think that's someone we absolutely need. Hopefully he can work out another defensive coordinator as a coach. Also, another guy, Joe Brady, could work. He has a great offense at LSU. He's really done good things with the Carolina Panthers offense this year, even with all the injuries they've had. He could be a potential candidate. But right now with the Detroit Lions, you know, they're 5-7. They're still one game out of the playoff spot. Realistically, it's not gonna. I don't think it will happen. There's a very good. There is still a chance that it can happen. They play Green Bay next week, which Green Bay is looking phenomenal this year. Aaron Rodgers playing at one of the highest levels he's ever played. Seems to get better every year. This year, if they get to playoffs, I mean, it kind of really hurts their draft spot in their future. I think they really need to draft a quarterback in the first round. Even if he's not going to immediately play, I think we need to start for the future. And Trey Lance is exactly what we need. He can change our offense. He can do so many things. He's so dynamic. Strong arm, good accuracy on the deep ball. He can run. And I think we need receivers as well. Galladay, I wish they would have signed him earlier in the year. He's 26 years old. The GM coming in hopefully knows what he's doing, and he'll either re-sign him or they'll franchise tag him and keep him around and give him another contract if he's playing well. But I don't think we treat him very fairly in Detroit, but he needs to stay healthy as well. That's a big thing. Running back position. Running backs. DeAndre Swift, he looks like he's going to be taking over for the next 5 years at least at the running back, hopefully more. He's big. He's put on a lot of pounds since college, it looks like. He's still as fast, he's shifty. But the thing I liked about him in college, he was a speed back, he was a receiving back. You did all that things, but in Detroit, it seems like he bulked up a little bit and is able to power because he's been running people over. That concussion is kept him out for a few weeks now, but it kind of stinks. That he needs to stay healthy, keep that head good. Kerryon Johnson, that's a big question. Kerryon, I think, is going to be it can be a nice 1-2 punch along with Swift for the next upcoming years. He's one of the best blocking running backs in the NFL, and I know that's a stat that not many people look at, but he can block. He's shown a lot of potential in his first couple of years before he got injured, and it sucks to see what happened to him this year. Adrian Peterson's took a lot of his carries, Swift's taken some of his carries. He seems to not be playing that much, and when he does play, he's been very inconsistent. He hasn't been playing that well, but he has had his moments. But I think he can be someone we can build around with Swift as a 1-2 punch. And if we can have Swift, Kerryon Johnson, Trey Lance, that sounds like a great backfield in my opinion. And with the offensive line, it's been getting the better the last couple of years. Taylor Decker, we re-signed him. He's been playing pretty well this year. Frank Ragnow has been absolutely monster this year. If you saw the play on Akeem Hicks, he just absolutely drove him into the ground. Akeem Hicks does not like it. He got in his face, but that's what we like on line. We want maulers. Jonah Jackson, he looks pretty solid for a rookie. He was our 3rd-round pick last year. And we need another tackle, and we need another guard that we didn't replace from Graham Glasgow last year. We're still hurting on that. Vaitai has not been very good, and we need a couple more offensive line pieces to make that offensive line really good. Back to the line situation. Realistically, I do not think they're going to be making the playoffs this year. I kind of hope they don't, because they're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. If they win a playoff game, that would be absolutely crazy. And it would just be the perfect Lions thing to do, is to win a playoff game in the year that everyone doesn't want them to win a playoff game. It's been so long. All in all, they have a lot of problems, starting from the top with the Ford family. But Sheila seems to be doing an okay job. She got rid of Patricia and Quinn in the middle of the season, when I thought they were going to wait till the end of the season, as it seemed like. But we have a lot of problems. It might not be all fixed next year, but hopefully in the next coming years, Lions could finally get something going. And as you see, my setup's not very good right now. I'm in a garage. The AirPod is a mic, but hopefully in the future, if I get some views, get some subscribers going, I'll make sure we get the quality better, the content, and we'll get a lot more things out here for you guys. So this is thank you for watching my first video. This is DZ Sports Talk, and this is the Lions, and I'll see you next time. Peace.